first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 145 pounds, standing 5 foot 5 inches tall, with a professional fight record of 7 wins with just 3 defeats. Fighting out of Kone, England, presenting Mike Gip Cutting. As opponents standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This man weighed in at 145.4 pounds, standing 5 foot 8 inches tall, with a professional record of 5 wins with no defeats. Fighting out of Phuket Top 10 by way of Northern Ireland, presenting Decky The Diamond Dalton. Your referee for this bout is Mr. Mark Water.
Chris, huge interest in this fight. 2 young men at 24, yet really veterans of their trade.
2 outstanding martial artists with a touch of gloves. We are at it here in Dublin.
Now Dalton, a lot of hype about this man, undefeated in 5, but Cutting coming off a great win against Nathaniel Wood.
I'm telling you, there's a lot to write home about both individuals. Declan is the type of fighter who is so knowledgeable, yet so vicious. A real Tasmanian devil in there when he flicks the switch. On the flip side, though, Cutting, a high-level competitor for many years, fought a lot of great competition, also takes risks as well.
That's the thing I love about him. That's what makes this so exciting. He goes for the submissions, he goes, and he can be subbed himself. He plays a dangerous game, doesn't he?
Very interesting feeling out process here. Open stance. You can see Mike in southpaw, but Declan now beginning to get comfortable and loosen up here.
Chris, that was so close as Cutting went for the double leg takedown. He almost ate a right uppercut there.
And look at the discipline of Declan. Thought about showing the right kick to the inside leg. Low flying scissor attack.
I said this is a man that likes to take risks.
Cutting now, locking up full guard, looks for the lumberjack sweep. Declan realizes that. A touch of gloves from both men. I'm telling you though, 63% of those wins. 5 chokes there from Mike Cutting via submission, so very dangerous on the ground.
Oh, but Chris, a right, straight right to the head, then follows up to the midsection from Dalton. Look at him. Oh, nice slip there from Cutting. I had a feeling about this fight.
But Decky, a self-professed connoisseur of chocolate and Muay Thai, standing very tall, very balanced. Notice the way he steps forward and then shuffles the rear leg. Every single time it's done correctly. And you can, that's really indicative of hours spent on the pads out there in Phuket.
Oh, as I said again, Cutting's got to be careful when he goes for those shoots. He hooks underneath Dalton there, and he's egging him on. Cutting has got to be so careful. But as we mentioned, careful isn't part of Cutting's game plan, is it?
I think Cutting's going to start to try to catch those kicks. And he'll look at some point maybe to try and trip Declan up and get him to his back.
Well, he's got to be careful because there's the elbow, the Muay Thai elbow, and you heard the crowd respond. And as you said, in this clinch, Dalton will be very comfortable indeed. Cutting playing a dangerous game here, but that's what makes him so exciting to watch.
Declan, though, pushed off. Cutting now moving, but again, back up against the fence. You can see Declan looking to enter here. Stiff jab from Declan.
And well, he doubled it up there, Chris. He doubled it up nicely, head and body, the variety of his work. And again, Cutting's got to stop going for those shoots when the right hand is so vicious of Dalton.
Dalton continues to pressure and try and land single power punches. The straight right cross there, skimming across the chin of Mike Cutting.
Oh, Cutting, he is playing a dangerous game. You've got to admire him. This is a really dangerous opponent in front of him, walking him down.
Vicious kick to the body for Decky. And you can see then Cutting looking to try and clinch up, but then Dalton pushes away and resets. Again, that footwork and that awareness. But it's been a very calculated and patient performance from Dalton.
Yes, and Cutting felt that right hand. It's been tempting to see it earlier. And again, the knee. Oh, he tries to drop cut.
Incredible. looking to try to sneak those legs up, gain some traction, and work high guard, going for the arm bar, swaps up to the triangle. Dalton looks up, feeding the left arm back in, 2 arms in, but again, a really solid high guard, swapping up to the arm lock, is Cutting.
Well, he's full of confidence, Chris, and as we said, he's a risk taker. This could be another big scalp. This man is on fire at the moment. And remember, he took Nathaniel Wood at BAMMA 18, and this could be a real upset here. No, he's free, but oh.
I'm telling you, Dalton had to turn his arm to try to relieve some of the pressure and then drags it out, passes. But Cutting, ultra dangerous in all positions, particularly in these scrambles.
Well, he's living up to his reputation, isn't he? He goes for the submissions, and he either gets them or puts himself in danger. This is what the fans love about the man.
I suspected he wanted the fight on the ground, but now multiple times on his back or flopping to his back. Dalton advances here to mount, gives up his back, and Dalton maintains control. 2 hooks in for Dalton.
He's only got 10 seconds to secure this, though, Chris.
And he's looking to get that choke on, switches to the full figure 4, stretches his man out. Whoa, saved by the bell and a nod from Cutting. What a round.
Oh, Chris, that was superb. And it wasn't only a nod, it was a really lovely smile from Cutting as well. He took the risk, and it almost paid off for him.
That was such a crazy series of exchanges between those 2 men. Crowd-pleasing stuff from both athletes. And I'm telling you right now, Cutting breathing very hard there in the corner. He's really committed to a lot there, Malcolm. Let's take a look a little bit at what transpired and how that went down.
Well, Dalton kept him under tremendous pressure, and again, there's the risk-taking that Cutting is prepared to do, but when he does, he sometimes puts himself in dangerous positions.
And a great escape from Dalton here against some of the clinch work of Dalton. That right knee definitely found the sweet spot, but then jumping guard, Cutting, jumping into adversity quite literally there. What an incredible way to kick things off in this bout. We continue here at BAMMA in round number 2.
So round 2 and an impressive first round from both of them. But as we said, Cutting, you get the feeling, we felt the pace there in the opener, and Dalton walking him down again.
And again, that open stance is very important. And then we see Dalton go southpaw, now back to orthodox. But it's the type of control that Dalton has used to keep Cutting backed up against the wire that I think has been very significant.
That's right, and those chopping Muay Thai kicks to Cutting. Cutting, as you said, will look to try and take the leg if it stays there just too long. But he snaps it back again after throwing it.
And he didn't commit too hard to those kicks again because he knows that Cutting is going to come in and try to grab a hold of him.
Yes, Cutting has been very mobile, but he's been up against it right throughout the first round. I'm looking for, as you said, to possibly try and take it down again. And it's not always in orthodox style from Cutting. That's what makes it so exciting.
Cutting's got to watch out for the right cross when he keeps circling that way. You can see Declan showing it, but he's going for the kicks for now. He's going to try to create a pattern. And there we go, that's the right cross. That's exactly what Declan was looking for there throughout those early exchanges with the kicks.
Well, he shook his head as if to say it's just out of range here, and he knew it, but it's getting more dangerous. And as you said, Cutting's got to be aware, and you wonder when he's going to look for the next takedown because, oh, there's the chopping little elbow from Declan's. Oh, and a better elbow this time. But a right knee reply from Cutting, bubbling beautifully this second round.
Nice counter there. Declan a little bit too deep, and Dalton got hit with the kick. Now swaps stances and switches up beautifully into a right kick to the body. A grimace from Cutting. Cutting's starting to be dissected a little bit here.
Well, he's feeling the pace as well, Chris, because Declan has been unrelenting in the way he's kept it at a certain range and kept that distance tight. And the punches, he shook his head earlier because he knows they're getting closer. He's getting that range, and he feels that one is going to really land clean. Plus the 2 elbows. Here you go again, the right hand.
Dalton, though, has been so impressive, and that's the kick catch I suspected was going to be used by Cutting. But Dalton, great show of the hips there, and winding up here on top.
And he's looking for that left arm of Cutting. Cutting grimaces. He knows he's in trouble here, Chris.
And look at this. Dalton will stay very heavily planted, putting all of the weight of his body through the perineum down onto the frame of his opponent. Low. A lot of torque there, but now he's gonna drop for an arm lock, and that's definitely gonna be in there really deep.
Cutting knows what he's got to do, desperate measures for him.
To the point that we had to see the limp arm escape from Cutting. That's a risky one, but it paid off. Both men dropped for a leg lock here.
Oh, you couldn't ask for more, Chris. Cutting, as I said, in real danger, got out of it superbly. We've said before he's a risk taker.
Inverted heel hook there from Cutting. Great defense from Declan, though. He's got to sit up into that and really control the knee line here. You can't get overzealous and just try to inflict damage. It's got to be defense first in this position, putting all of his weight down. And now's the time to punch. Excellent decision-making from Declan Dalton. As I said, very knowledgeable, has great vision. He's vicious, he's got a mean streak, but he's also got the brains to go behind it with the fight IQ.
He's also got the cardio, Chris, because although he's got those 3 big stoppages, he has gone the distance twice as well. He knows how to finish, but he also knows how to grind out a victory.
Great grip fighting from both men here. And again, he's gonna try to expose the heel. Oh, but it slips off. That was really close. Declan now gonna continue to try and defend here. But all Cutting wants really is to expose that heel again and go palm to palm.
Yes, Mike Cutting, a real test for the Diamond Declan Dalton here tonight. And I said he's not lacking in confidence with that big win at BAMMA 18 on the big stage, and he's looking to do it again. This man, you feel, likes the underdog status.
And now's the time to punch again for Declan. His heel is safe, but now here, this is the danger zone. Much better though with the weight forward. And the way that Mike Cutting has that leg reaped, he needs to try to push Declan back and expose the heel again. So there's a real war of attrition, a real war for position occurring here.
And a second round, Chris, that Dalton has not had all his own way by any stretch of the imagination.
Dalton needs to ride this round out. 10 seconds left on the clock. Doesn't want to get caught in a bad position because it only takes a couple of seconds for that submission to go on and do all of its dirty work. But a great finish for both men in a very precarious position, Mel.
Well, Chris, simply put, it's an intriguing prospect. Dalton has been really asked questions tonight by Cutting. Cutting riding the quest of a wave. We know he takes risks. We know he likes, and again, that elbow just out of range. Dalton knew that he could get through here. There's the second elbow that lands. But look at the knee response from Cutting.
And look at the way Dalton posts that left arm all the way out, really controlling, and then over the top with the right elbow. Textbook Muay Thai there. And there was the right nice counter kick from Mike Cutting. And then the leg catch. But beautiful scrambling shown from Declan. The Diamond winds up on top here, and then that took us all the way to the end of the round, but it's a fresh start for both men on the feet. How will it go down? Nobody really knows given the unpredictability of this one, but Mark Woodard in charge. We continue into round 3 here at BAMMA.
Well, he looked to be breathing heavily, Cutting. There's a big shake of hands there and a hug, mutual respect, and then straight back to business. And exactly the same start to the third as the second, and that little hook to the body. Cutting acknowledged that, threw a straight right back, but that first little punch to the midsection of Cutting took its toll, and he does it again.
Right hook to the body for the Diamond. Good coverage from Mike Cutting. He's got to keep those hands up.
And Chris, we also know what he's looking for, isn't he? He's waiting for a chance to either secure a leg or for Dalton just to miss messily. This is the problem. Dalton is compact when he throws those shots.
And he doesn't telegraph a whole lot either. Mixes it up very well. Nice kick again from Cutting. Cutting can afford to throw those. Big overhand left from Dalton.
Yes, Cutting pulls at his nose, but there, do you know, it's actually that little bit body shot to the middle before the right hand came over the top again that Cutting felt. He's very durable, very strong though, but Dalton just beginning to wind these shots up now.
Jab 2 from Dalton. Dalton swapping stances multiple times here.
And he was so nonchalant when Cutting threw that knee back. He just pulled the head back a little bit, didn't even acknowledge it really, but those left and rights are beginning to get through consistently now.
Incredible stuff from both men. It's been such a busy fight. It's been a frantic fight. But the precision and accuracy of Dalton on the feet, I think, is beginning to take its toll on Cutting, but a nice clean hook on the exit there from Cutting as he now gets back to the center of the ring.
I agree with you though, Chris. Dalton's shots are getting more precise. There's more of them, and it's the right timing for Cutting again. He takes that risk. It doesn't pay off for him this time.
What impresses me most is every time Cutting commits to taking Dalton down, Dalton has been able to wind up on top. North-south position. Cutting looking to invert here, but Dalton, no doubt, very aware, controlling now his opponent from the top, and we may see another armbar attempt. You can see him trying to go to work on isolating possibly the right arm of his opponent, but a great guard recovery attempt from Cutting. Dalton slides his left knee all the way in, Malcolm, to negate that.
Yes, good work from Dalton, and as you said, he's so strong, and in his last two performances, he showed he can grind out performances like this. Cutting again, he initiated, he took the risk, but what I do like is he's so adaptable himself, isn't he? As we're seeing here, making it so difficult for Dalton.
Dalton staying heavy, though, continuing now to try and work around to the right, counterclockwise motion, but it's the guard recovery that reigns supreme for Mike Cutting. Great work for Cutting. He's got 2 minutes to work here, Malk. He cannot try and lay dormant because laying in full guard is not going to win him the fight.
And that's right, and there still is the downward elbow there from Dalton. There still is everything in this last 2 minutes to fight for. It's been an intriguing, superb contest. Beautifully matched here once again at BAMMA. Matchmaking of the highest order.
Ooh, triangle attempt here. And then going up to the armbar. Looks a little shallow to me. But look for Declan to try and now stack his man. You can see him putting all of the weight down then, and he'll try and work his right elbow back beyond the fulcrum of the lever.
That's right, the pressure there on Cutting, but we know he's capable of the finish.
Cutting now adjusting and crossing his ankles. You notice the left leg is very tight to the head. The crossed ankle being the opposite one. You don't want to have the other ankle on top because then there's too much space. The head easier to retract and then get the arm out. So a good attack from Cutting there, but Dalton survives.
Which makes the scoring of this bout even more interesting as we come inside the last minute.
Dalton now staying heavy, maintaining position, and then look for the ground and pound to pour on here.
Yes, Cutting looks up, he smiles. He's a character, and he's really played his part in what's been a superb bout.
Dalton hooking up with the gift wrap there, now going to reverse body lock, then punching again.
And you feel this last 30 seconds is essential as Cutting goes for the leg again.
Cutting inverting there, looking for maybe a knee bar. Declan's gonna sit down on his legs and punch. He's got time on his side, 10 seconds or so on the clock here. And it's been another furious round here in BAMMA and Dublin.
Oh, this has been a great bout, and both men really played their part here in what is really a stacked division, Chris.
A Shark Tank of a division. Both men embrace. Both men raise each other's arms. Both men leaving it all there on the table. What a matchup here in Dublin. What an entertainment for the crowd. And what a show of sportsmanship between two of the elite in this division. And what action there was here at BAMMA. The modus operandi, though, of Declan being controlling the ring, using good footwork, pressuring, cutting up. But Cutting showing that gutsy ground game, looks for the takedown. Declan able to end up on top, but Cutting, a gamer all the way through this round for sure. How will it go? We're getting the judges' scorecards in here in BAMMA, and we'll go over to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Noel O'Keefe, and make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecards. All three judges have scored this 30-27. By your winner, a unanimous decision, Decky The Diamond